And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Ryan Metzler.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan Metzler here again, and today we're going to check out a game that is not yet in the US but has been released, I believe it's in Japan, and that game is Machi Koro. Now this is a tableau building game that's going to be put out by Pandasaurus in the United States. It's well on its way. You can see I have the foreign box, but I do have the English components on the inside, so it'll be a little bit easier for you to understand while we're going through it. So real quick, we're going to take a look at this. We'll see how dice rolling and card management come together. We'll see how the game plays, and then we'll come back here at the end and we'll get my opinions on Machi Koro. So here you can see Machi Koro all laid out. Now I'm only showing you one player's play area, which are these cards down here. They're going to start with a wheat field, which has a value of 1, which means that if you roll a 1, it will activate. You have a bakery, which has a 2 to 3, which means if you roll a 2 or a 3, it will activate. And then you have 4 of these victory point cards, which you'll be trying to buy in order to flip over, which will give you an additional ability in the game. And flipping all 4 of them over is going to let you win the game. So it's a race to the end. Now, in this game, you'll see that there are some dice. My copy actually didn't have dice in it for some reason, so these are dice that I've added. You're going to have these chips, which are money, and players will start with some money in the game in order to buy cards out in the center of the table. And then you're going to have this whole area of cards that are available to be bought. A card has a layout that looks much like, let's grab one that you haven't seen, this right here. You'll see that we have the convenience store. It has a value of 4. That means if a 4 is rolled on the die, you're going to get the reward of the card. And green cards actually means that it happens only on your own turn. So this card will only activate if you yourself roll a 4. Beneath that, you'll see a picture, and there's also some iconography here. This one has a little icon of bread, which indicates the type of card that it is, and other cards will reference this icon at times. And then in the bottom, you'll see the ability that says, get 3 coins from the bank on your turn only, which means that you must roll the 4 in order to get the 3 coins. In the bottom left, there's going to be a value here, which is 2. That's the cost to buy the card in coins from your own supply. Now you'll see there are other colors of cards, and these are going to be basically when the card activates or how it activates. So blue cards will activate on anyone's turn. You'll see that your wheat field here, if you roll a 1 or anyone else rolls a 1, will get you $1 from the bank. So all the blue cards will activate on anyone's turn if the appropriate value is rolled on the dice. The green cards, as I said, will activate only on your own turn. Many of them will activate just for rolling a number and get you some amount of money, whereas other ones will reference specific icons. For example, the fruit and vegetable market will count the number of these wheat icons you have, or the furniture factory will count the number of the gear icons you have and give you money based on that. The red cards are going to be things that will allow you to steal from other players. These are going to interact with other players, and that's basically when they roll the die and get that value. So if one of your opponents rolls a 3, you're going to steal a coin from them on their turn. Or if they roll a 9 to a 10 and you happen to have a family restaurant, you're going to get 2 coins from the player who rolled the die. Purple cards down here are kind of a special type of card. You'll see there are 3 different purple cards, and they usually affect your opponent in some way, shape, or form. For example, the stadium here that says you get 2 coins from all players if you happen to roll a 6, but only on your own turn. So it's much like one of these green cards, but it's going to affect all of the other players. Or you can see here the TV station says that if this is your turn, you can take 5 coins from any one player if you roll a 6. And 6, for some reason, is the most powerful number in terms of cards. The business center, again, is going to allow you to trade a card from your tableau with another player, as long as it's not a purple card. You're not allowed to trade purple cards, which is probably the designation of purple. You're not allowed to trade them. So these are sorted by costs, 1s all the way up to 8s, and you're going to be trying to buy cards on your turn in order to further your position to make more money in order to buy your victory cards down here. On a player's turn, they're going to, at the start of the game, roll 1 die. They'll roll this die and see what value they get. Now, WG on this die is a 1. In this case, they have rolled a 1 and they're going to get a coin from the bank. And everyone else at the start of the game will also get a coin because they're also going to have a wheat field. So all of our other players will get this coin because blue cards activate on anyone's turn. At this point, they're going to have money and they can buy stuff from the supply in order to try and get, of course, more ability to get money. So they could turn in some of their money and buy any of these cards that they can afford, and buying as many as they would like in order to add them to their tableau. Now, of course, there's kind of a dichotomy here in that you're going to want to buy cards to make more money, but you're also going to want to save money in order to buy your victory point cards in order to win the game. So as you go through the game, you're going to try and figure out how to best spend your money and then save up enough money to buy these. On your turn, you are also able to buy these cards, and you'll see that the victory point cards are cost 4, 10, 16, and 22 money. So throughout the game, you need to save up 52 money in order to win the game. and spend it at the appropriate times. But you can buy these in any order, and when you do so, they're going to give you an ability. For example, the 4-cost one will let you roll 2 dice instead of 1. You'll note that this is important because some of these cards require an 11 to 12 to activate, or a 9 to 10, and you simply can't roll that on 1 die. So when it comes to your turn and you've bought this after paying 4 for it, you'll have the option of rolling 2 dice, but you may want to pay attention to what everybody else has on their tableau, because if they have a 9 to 10, you could end up losing money to them if you roll poorly. So you'll want to pay attention to what everyone else has going on. Buying the shopping mall is going to let you get extra coins from your coffee cup and bread icon establishments. So if you have a lot of those, you may want to buy this early in order to get more money anytime they activate. The amusement park here says that if you have matching dice, meaning you roll doubles, you're going to get to take another turn. So buying this early may help you get more turns, but you're going to have the station in order for the amusement park to be any good. And finally, the radio tower, when you flip it over, says that once every turn you can choose to re-roll your die or both dice if you've rolled them. So that'll be good to have, but again, you must, well, I guess you don't really need the station because you can re-roll your single die with the radio tower. You could save up and have that ability early on in order to activate the cards that you want to activate, or at least have a better chance of doing so. Anyhow, you're going to go around taking your turns, first rolling your die or dice, activating whatever buildings activate on your own and everyone else's tableaus, earning money, and then spending that money to either buy cards to add to your own tableau or to buy your victory point cards in hopes of winning the game. And the first player to flip over all 4 of the cards will be the winner. Well, there you have it. That is Machi Koro coming to the United States from Pandasaurus Games. Now, this is a pretty simple game, as you might have gotten from the overview that I just showed you. There's not a ton of strategy here, but there is some luck mitigation that you can try and do in the form of buying different cards and making sure you have a variety of different numbers of cards available on your tableau. So it's a light game, but it's a light game with some strategy. You just have to hope that that strategy plus the die rolling works out for you. And so in that aspect, if you're a heavier gamer, if you're a big fan of Agricola and you don't really like lighter fare, this probably isn't going to be the game for you. But if you're looking for a filler, or you're looking for an introductory style game for somebody, or you're looking just for something that's going to be light and lighthearted with some strategy in it that you can kind of manipulate and hopefully build a good tableau to I guess, outcompete your opponents, then I think Machi Koro is going to be something that appeals to you. It definitely has that deck builder, tableau building type appeal, and has a very, very easy set of rules that you can pick up, get to the table, and teach a bunch of new players or anyone in a very short period of time. So I guess I'm going to say that I do like the game quite a bit, actually. I think it's a very well done, lighter game, one that I think is going to be highly accessible and very popular because of the combination of mechanisms that are in the game. One that will stay in my collection for a period of time. I'm not sure it'll make the long-term cut, simply because it's not my style of game, but overall I think a very well-designed game, and one that many people will be happy to have, and a lot of people should definitely check out.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.